Hey guys, tonight I begin with the remarkable resilience and let's say creative discomfort tolerance of a boy who would one day become Abraham Lincoln. A child who grew up in a windowless cabin with no floor, no books, and no real reason to believe the world would ever get any bigger than the Kentucky woods around him. Before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining me from around the world. Now dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, or a space heater if you're feeling historically dishonest. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a one-room log cabin on the edge of the Kentucky wilderness, a place where survival was never guaranteed and education was an afterthought. His father, Thomas Lincoln, was a hard-working but uneducated farmer and carpenter. His mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, was quiet, gentle, and literate, a rarity on the frontier. Together, they lived in near poverty, scratching out a life from thin soil and thick woods. The cabin itself had no windows, no floor, and certainly no bookshelves. Abraham's world for much of his early life was one of candlelight, silence, and endless labor. He would grow up chopping wood, carrying water, and wearing clothes that were more patch than fabric. There was no formal schooling in those early years. In fact, Lincoln would later estimate he had less than a single year of proper education in his entire life. But he had something more powerful, a restless mind and an aching hunger to learn. When Nancy Hanks died in 1818, possibly from milk sickness, Abraham was only 9 years old. Her death left a void in the boy's life that would never truly close. She had been his emotional anchor, the one who saw something different in him. After her burial, which was done by hand in the forest behind their farm, young Abe whittled a wooden marker himself. It was rough, crude, and soaked with tears, but it said everything. He remembered her. A few months later, Thomas remarried a widow named Sarah Bush Johnston. Unlike the stereotypical wicked stepmother, Sarah brought warmth, books, and structure. She recognized Lincoln's intelligence and encouraged his curiosity. Between chores, he devoured everything he could get his hands on. Aesop's fables, Robinson Crusoe, the Bible. If he couldn't get a book, he'd write his own thoughts with charcoal on wooden shingles. This boy, barefoot and bone-thin, with a face too serious for his age, was already forging something within himself.